Hey everybody, welcome back to the Highland Hardwater Outdoor Podcast. This is Matt and Zach.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are really excited to re-release this episode with you. It was an episode that we recorded last year at the ATA show with Kelsey Hutsler and Chad Yousey. It was a really great podcast.
Yeah, in the episode, everyone discusses the ATA trade show, some of the new gear that's coming out, some new clothing. Chad talks about his show a little bit, the hunting and fishing, and Kelsey talks a little bit about women in hunting.
It was a really good podcast. We thought it'd be perfect to re-release it right now as we head into the cold weather hunting season, and so everyone can revisit that one. We have some great podcasts coming up soon, too, in the next couple weeks. Some really exciting interviews that we can't wait to share with you. So make sure that you tune in for that. Leave a rating review on iTunes, too. That really helps. And share with your friends. But without further ado, enjoy this podcast with Kelsey Hutsler and Chad Yousey.
So, Kelsey, if you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself for people who aren't familiar, where are you from and what do you do?
Well, let's put it this way. I am from a tiny little town on the edge of the Oklahoma-Kansas border called Medford, Oklahoma. And I have a hunting and fishing show called Southern Girl Pursuit. And I'm all about hunting and fishing, and that's what my show's about. It's a kind of an outdoor reality show. And then I've got my manager, Chad, here, who is got his own show called River Bottom Pursuits. And
yeah, we're here and we're just talking about hunting and fishing, and I'm not real sure exactly where we go from here. So what do you guys exactly want to talk about?
Well, this is good. This is going well.
Yeah, it's going
I'm
well.
just going to leave the ball open.
Absolutely.
Well, we know what Southern Girl Pursuit is a little bit. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your River Bottom?
River Bottoms Pursuits is just another hunting and fishing TV show, a lot like Southern Girl Pursuit, but we have men on our show, and we have beards, and
Not
we
so
hunt.
many girls.
Yeah, not so many girls at all. But
Girls can make it more appealing, though.
And that's
absolutely.
exactly why we hang out and why I'm on the show every now and then.
Yeah, for sure. No, we love the outdoors, and we love getting new people in the outdoors. And we're just here at the ATA, meeting up with some sponsors and some partners and doing our thing.
Awesome. Well, I know Corey and I walked the floor today. This is my first time attending an ATA show, and there's definitely a ton of stuff out there. I mean, things you didn't even think existed do exist, and there's multiple varieties of them. But I know that you guys have a lot of different companies that you do work with. So what were some of your favorite things that you saw out there today? What are you most excited about? Just kind of give us a recap of what you guys saw.
Oh, where do you begin? There are so many new innovative products every year at the ATA, and I mean, I have to touch base on, especially some of my new favorite gear, which is through Treason. I mean, they've got a whole new camo line, which is for women, called Vixen. We went and looked at the Vanguard booth, and they have some awesome backpacks. Obviously as hunters and especially as people that film, we're always carrying all of our gear, and they've got all these new bags that not only carry your bows, carry your camera gear, and where do you even begin?
Yeah, this is the mecca of the archery trade, industry in America. And there's so many new innovative products here that there's no real good place to start on where,
new broadheads.
Yeah, there's new everything
new
here.
Bows,
everything new and innovative in the archery industry is here, and it's just amazing every year to come here and see the new products that people come up with. Of course, it's always fun to come see, old friends and, old partners and stuff that you've been with for years. But every time that you come here, every time that I come anyway, it's always fun to see the new stuff that's coming out in the market and in the industry. Definitely.
It's always something different every year, and it's probably one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, I like the Archery Trade Show. It's something that I look forward to every year because me being a diehard bow hunter, it's fun to see the new products that come in. It's the products that when you're sitting in your tree stand, in mid-November and it's freezing cold and you're like, I wish I had something like this, you come here and you're like, oh, well, somebody invented it, and now, yeah.
No, because 90% of the time when we're hunting, we're sitting there and we're like, we should come out with a product like this. And then we'll Google it. Oh, it's already been done and it's going to be at the show this year. And it's it's literally this show is about staying on top of your toes and, staying above everybody else, because every time you think of a product, somebody else has thought of it and then they're coming out with it.
Well, and I'm glad that you kind of touched base on this. So for people listening, ATA, we kind of take it for granted because we do it every year and we've been doing it for years. But ATA is the Archery Trade Association. So this is the show where everyone that touches that archery trade comes to, and they show all their innovative new products. And for anybody who's actually never walked the show, it's pretty cool because when you're going through the show, they have archery lanes set up. So it's not only just a like a product showcase like most trade shows. There's a lot of demos going on and things like that. I don't know if you guys happened to make it by the Garmin booth today. We were talking about it last night with a person that we'll say is unnamed, but with one of the large camo companies. And we were talking about this new Garmin product that came out. Its thing is incredible. So it's a sight, and Chad, maybe you can jump in here too and kind of help me explain, but it's a sight that is basically the way that I kind of would describe it, as a sight and a scope all in one, or not a scope, rangefinder, really.
Yeah,
right?
rangefinder for sure.
Which is if you're a bow hunter, you know how important that is.
Yeah, everything needs to be field tested, of course, but the design that they've come up with this thing is absolutely flawless in my eyes. Anybody who's ever bow hunted before, you set your pins for the range that that the deer or the animal that you expect to come in on. And, that you set your pins at 20, 30, 40, and when do the animals always come in? It's always 27 and a half, 33, not where you want. But this product will actually tell you the exact range on what the animal or, the thing is that you're hunting is. And to me, it's something that may be the way of the future as far as sights go.
Well, and it limits the amount of steps you have to take. When you're talking about when a deer comes in right in front of you, you're already trying to make your moves in a flash, but let alone to grab your rangefinder, try to range something. And if you're hunting with a single pin sight, you got to go and set your dial to what your range is. And
absolutely.
This kind of takes that all down to one step. Right. And to me, that's kind of a big deal. That's huge because, how many missed opportunities have we had, as bow hunters trying to place everything. You're trying to pull out your rangefinder, you're trying to range it, then you got to set your rangefinder back down, and then you got to dial in your bow, and it just kind of limits everything down.
The site even had, I think it even accounted for your angle too.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, these guys are on top of it at Garmin. I can't wait to see the field test, the reviews and stuff from this product, because it's definitely something that as a bow hunter of 25 years, it draws your eye.
I'm interested for sure.
Maybe that is what we've been missing in the whole, like you said, it's a big mess, especially when you're bow hunting in the rut and self filming. You don't have time.
The rut is crazy.
You don't have time to make adjustments or anything else when when it's kill time, it's kill time. And I think that this product might actually be one of those things that takes you above to the next level, where you can not have to worry about your pins, your sights, your range, or everything. It does everything for you.
I'm definitely interested in
this
product.
It definitely feels like it's the first of what's going to become a long line of new products. So I think
technology in the bow industry, man, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being innovative.
Yeah, which is funny because you think the bow industry, it's really the oldest technology, and this is really the industry that just keeps pushing it forward. Every year.
That's why we
really
keep
cool.
coming back, brother, because every time that I come here, no matter what, if we're here just working for partners and sponsors and everything else, the new products that we come across every year is wow, I should have thought of that.
Right, absolutely.
Is that not us all the time?
Every year we come here, oh man,
we had that idea.
That's exactly what we need.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Kelsey, tell us a little bit, you told us a little bit about Vixen, but you and I have had discussions in the past, and I think one of the issues that you always had was women's clothing in the hunting industry.
Getting it to fit.
It's made for dudes.
For sure.
But they just, advertise it as women.
Treason.
So what's going on with Treason and Vixen?
Well, Treason is a new, I say new. They've been around for about almost 2 years now. 2 or 3 years. And they just have this super cool, it's a really cool pattern. They have an early season, they have a late season pattern. And they have came out with this new women's line called Vixen. And they have it not only in the early season, but in the late season gear. And, it's down to the detail of it. Like they've got, I'm one of those people that like when I put on a jacket, like I love the thumb holes. I'm not a person that wears gloves. And so I love the thumb holes because I can like get my hand covered. And I mean, it's just down to the detail. Like I absolutely love the way that it fits. I love the way it feels. It's comfortable. It's lightweight, but at the same time, it's heavy enough to where their late season gear is. It's heavy enough to where it keeps me warm. And it's just a really cool product. It's a different camo. It's not something that you're used to seeing, but at the same time, it works and it looks really cool. And I mean, I'm really excited about this brand to see where it goes. I know they've got so many different avenues they're going down right now, and I'm just really, really excited to see where the whole Trees and Line goes.
Absolutely, and not only is the pattern good and the gear is super comfortable to wear. I mean, them just alone as a company, Cobb and those guys over there, they've really got it
so
going.
Cool, yeah.
So easy to work with, especially from our standpoint.
And they're just like us, like they know what we want. They have the same, issues in the field that we have, and they try to kind of like fulfill that with their gear.
Well, they want to be innovative, and they take criticism from their staffers and stuff. They're not arrogant about anything. They want to grow. They want to make a better product, and they really take in a lot of the information from the people that are in the field like us every single day. Mm-hmm. And they're just it's one of those companies. We work for a lot of companies. It's like, you're going out, you're talking to them or whatever, and you're like, we got to go meet with such and such. Like, it's not like that with them. That we really take joy in working with the company. They've been great to us so far. They got a great product, and it's really nice whenever you can develop not just a business relationship with somebody, but develop actually a friendship with them as well.
Absolutely.
Very cool. So would you say their patterns tend to be, more Western hunting related, more Eastern timber? Like where are they kind of specializing right now?
Honestly, I hunt the plains, and I also hunt out west a lot, and I haven't. I mean, it's fit both places. Like they've got their early season, they got their late season pattern, and it's just such a like neutral pattern that I really feel
digital? Like how would you describe it?
I would describe it more as a pattern that it's kind of digital, but it's more of like a 3D deal.
It's got like the honeycomb look.
Yeah, the honeycomb look to where like things kind of fade out. Like even when you're looking at it, it's hard to take like the whole pattern in focus, out of focus, because some of it looks in focus, some of it looks out of focus. I think where they really nail like where their home front is their coloration. Mm-hmm. Because their early season still gets like those greens and those
but they got
browns.
That brown and
their
early season's got the greens
and the browns that like really like show true, like with no matter where you're at in the Midwest or even on the East West Coast, like we get the greens and the browns early season, and then they have a late season pattern, and everybody knows like
there ain't any green.
There's nothing.
Yeah,
it's gray.
Brown.
It's gray,
brown.
Dark brown. Like
yes.
that's the coloration, and
it's terrible. But that's what you got to fit. If you're sitting in a tree and you're all decked out in green,
they've
you're just gonna look up at you and be like, "Oh, hey, I see you up there."
Yeah,
but they really kind of
they've really nailed the late season pattern. I've always been a critic of late season patterns, because if you have dark colored, patterns on in the late season where everything is sky and gray, like you just look like a blob in your tree stand. And they've really taken some lighter colorations, dealt with some gray colorations and some light browns that have really I'm pretty impressed with the pattern.
That reminds me actually of our drive to ATA last year, where we were driving through, I want to say it was like Indiana or somewhere, maybe it was even far Missouri, but we saw someone sitting in a tree stand, and we could see them into the woods, and we were like, that guy looks like a dark blob.
Yeah.
And we were like, think about it, late season, the sky is 90% of what, animals see. And, early season, it's all green, it's leaves, it's branches. But like this time of year, it's just like sky.
Yeah, and sky and gray.
And
that's about it. That's about all we get.
And honestly, like as soon as they came out with that pattern, we were like, that's what we've been talking about.
Yeah, it looks good. And like I said, I think Cobb and those guys have really nailed down a good pattern over there. And I look forward to see what they come out with in the future.
Absolutely.
Very cool. So let me transition a little bit, honey here, Kelsey. So one of the things that's it's always in a topic, and it has been at least for the last 5-10 years now, is women in hunting, right? And so you're a woman hunter, huntress. Yes. You're the real deal. One of the things that we know from the industry right now is that women coming into hunting are the largest percentage demographic, but women leaving hunting every year are also the largest demographic. So, in your opinion, what do we got to do here to retain more of those women hunters who are coming in? Because there's obviously something that's drawing them in, but there's obviously something that's pushing them right back out the door really fast. And so maybe you can speak to a little bit to what you've noticed and, where we're heading here.
I think the biggest thing has been the new products for women. That's what's drawing more women in is, when I started hunting, everything was geared towards men. And, I was wearing my dad's hand-me-down stuff. And I think the new products these days more geared towards women is what's bringing women into this industry. But I think at the same time, one thing that's bringing women out is the fact that there is so much hate. There, you get love and hate with anything you do, but, there's also these people that, are anti-hunting. And, I think for women, it's hard to stand up for what you believe in. And, that's something for me that I've just kind of had to work through is, there's going to be people that love and there's going to be people that hate what you do. And if it's something that you truly believe in, and I think, with women, we're all known as for being in the kitchen and cooking. And, that's something that's encouraged me even more into hunting is the fact that I do love to cook and I love being in the kitchen. And I think that's kind of gotten me.
If we were videoing this right now, you'd see Kelsey just,
and you would see me probably punch my manager here. So let's be real here.
Hold the mic.
Yeah.
Chad, he's about
swinging the microphone around here.
If we didn't hit each other with the mic, it might be a miracle here.
She's like Beyonce on a high note.
Absolutely.
So I think the one thing, like I said, is that's brought women into this industry is the more gear and stuff that has been geared towards women. But I think what's brought them out is,
All right, so I got to stop you there real quick and cut you off. So I'm with you, but I don't know that it's gear bringing women in. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I think it's more women bringing more women in.
Well, I mean, absolutely.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to get down, maybe another level down there.
For sure.
The thing that brought you in and the thing that actually kind of, Sara is not currently a hunter, but the thing that interests you in it, maybe you can speak to that. What is it that even interests you in it?
I mean, it's definitely, I didn't necessarily grow up in a hunting family. My uncle hunted, my dad's friends hunted, but my parents didn't hunt. And then I got into a relationship where a bunch of my boyfriend at the time's friends were huge hunters, and we would take the four-wheelers out and we would go mudding and we would take the ATVs out and do that kind of stuff. And, it wasn't unusual to go over to one of the guys' houses and have them be dressing a deer in their garage. And it's just something I kind of got used to, but it was something that I never thought I would get used to. Mm-hmm. And I never really had a passion for hunting myself. Obviously I'm an animal lover, but I eat animals. So I will enjoy a wonderful steak any day of the week, that's for sure. But I didn't kill the steak. So once I started coming to these types of events and obviously seeing people on social media and things like that, it's just a super intriguing industry. And I actually made a comment earlier tonight that I think the hunting and fishing industries in general are really cool, diverse, and supportive communities. So you go to a show like this, you go to a show, based around fishing, and everyone is just very supportive of each other, which is really cool. And you don't find that in a lot of places. So, to walk around today, we walked past the Bowtech booth and, they had a line of their pros standing there signing autographs, but out of 10 pros, 2 of them were girls. And the guys were almost more excited to see them than the other guys. Jim Shockey was there, but so was his daughter. They were really excited to see her.
About Nate Zielinski. I heard people everywhere where's Nate Zielinski?
I walked past and everyone's like, where is Nate Zielinski? Throw that out there.
Everybody's like, where's Nate?
I love you, Nate.
He couldn't make it. He chose ISE instead in Denver.
Come on, Nate.
But
I also heard, where is Will?
Oh yeah,
Will
Big
and
Willie.
Nate. Last
Big
night
Willie
at dinner, it's
style.
where's Will and Nate?
Will Dykstra, hello, shout out.
Will and Nate.
Next year they have to be here. There's no excuse.
Definitely.
They're off chasing something, I guarantee you.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't want to know what they're chasing.
It's probably something to do with ice and fish, cold weather and
which they're not really getting in Colorado right now. So it's a
Yeah.
sore subject for them.
Yeah. Oh,
But
there we go.
So something that you mentioned, Sarah, there I think is kind of important and maybe to back up on. So you got interested in it through a relationship, right? And Kelsey, is that for you too?
Absolutely. Like, I mean, honestly, to go back to where I started with hunting was I am a girl of only boys. I have all brothers. And hunting was a competition between my dad and my brothers and my grandpa. And I had zero interest in it in the beginning. You know, when I was little, I was all into dance and cheerleading. And finally, I just got so competitive with the boys where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to show you guys what's up. Like, I just want to beat you guys. And like, as soon as I went out and started hunting, like I fell so in love with it where it didn't even necessarily become the competition, but it just kind of became a family thing. And it just became something where we, you know, everybody in my family now, like even the women in my family are so into hunting, and it's a traditional thing. Like, and I love that about it. And I want to like keep that tradition going, you know, like I want to keep that going with my family, with my friends, with my, you know, if I ever have kids. And I know, you know, everybody that I know that gets their kids involved, it's such a family tradition.
Absolutely. I think that the whole
Like, you can touch base on this. You have little boys.
The whole industry in itself. I think I own 2 other companies that are in our industry at all, and the camaraderie that comes along with this industry is unmatched. And you know, it is a cutthroat business, just like any other business will be. But you know, the camaraderie that comes along with it. You know, like I said, I have 3 little boys, and you know, nothing takes precedence over, you know, getting them involved in the outdoors. And it wouldn't matter if I had 3 little girls or 3 little boys. You know,
I've taken a couple little girls hunting, and it's like, it's just, I mean, it's even like almost more exciting than little boys, because I love watching your boys hunt.
I get more pumped
I love
up.
talking hunting with your boys.
I get more pumped up. I mean,
it is so cool.
Yeah, I get more excited when, you know, one of the kids, whether it be one of mine or somebody that I'm guiding, or
and especially
or just
girls, like little girls getting into it.
Or just a green
so cool.
hunter, and you know, someone who's never hunted before, getting somebody, you know, in the outdoors that's never been there before. You know, it's really rewarding. You know, and that's some of the part of what we do. You know, it's actually a really good feeling, and you don't get that from a lot of other industries. You know, like I said, I have businesses elsewhere, and you don't get the camaraderie. And I think what I'd really like to say is, in the outdoor industry, it's not like anything else, because if we don't pass the torch to the younger generations, it won't be here anymore.
Absolutely.
You know, like, I mean, every other industry will always be here, but if we don't fight and we don't pass on the torch, you know, to the younger generations, then there won't be any little girl 12-year-old hunters. There won't be any little boys that like really want to go out and hunt and do their thing and be in the outdoors. And I think it's actually our responsibility as hunters to pass the torch to the younger generation.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
I took a little girl that was 9 years old this year hunting, and she's shot deer with a rifle, but this was her first deer with a bow, and it was with a crossbow. And I mean, just to see like how excited she was. She messaged me today and was like, so when's my show going to be on? When's my episode's going to be on? Because she's so excited about it. And I'm like, you know what? That's what like gets me doing this, because I'm like, I love to see other little girls, because when I was her age, that wasn't what I was into, you know? And that it was almost frowned upon, because it was like the guy sport, and it was what the guys did together. And so to see like more women get involved, and to see like men and fathers getting their daughters involved with the outdoors, like, I mean, that to me is just all about it. Like, I wish I would have been at 9 years old just as into hunting as these other little girls that are getting into it are.
Right. And it's interesting now, too, and we were talking about it a little last night, is, you know, the way that they're accessing that, the way they're consuming this media is a little bit different than in the past. I mean, you have a TV show and that does very well, but you're supporting it on the other side too. You're supporting it via YouTube and social media channels, and
Absolutely.
I mean, that's where they're consuming so much of this.
Social media is huge anymore. Like, TV is just, Chad, you can touch on this one.
TV's a
went
dying
out the door.
breed. It really is. Like, I mean, the digital marketing has taken over the whole marketing world. I mean, marketing is pretty much Corey and I are pretty good at what we do, and we both can agree that social media, the platform itself, has taken over the whole world. And if we can't keep passing the torch on to the future generations through social media, TV, and everything else, there won't be wildlife management areas. Because let's get real. Who pays for the wildlife management areas? Hunters.
Absolutely.
Who keeps those grounds and those places where we can hunt them every year? our licenses and all of other revenue that comes through from hunters is what actually supports the wildlife management areas, the special zones, all that type of stuff, the special tags, the government, like all that stuff is supported by sportsmen.
And if it weren't for conservation,
and if it weren't for conservation, we wouldn't have that.
Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thanks
it's
for
been
having
a
us.
pleasure
having us.
hanging out with you guys at ATA.
Thank you for putting up with us.
It's always so much fun hanging out
Putting
with the
up
two
with
of
her, not
you.
me.
No, it's okay. You're right, Chad.
And we got to get Nate and Will here next year, and we can do a mega podcast with them.
It's gonna be.
It'll be
honored.
epic. It will
It
be
will
epic.
be epic for sure.
But why don't you guys go ahead and throw out your Instagram handles or where people can contact you or find you for more information on any social media?
Yeah, I mean, as far as social media goes, you can go like our page at, River Bottom Pursuits on Facebook, River Bottom Pursuits on Instagram. As far as Kelsey goes, it is...
Yeah, Kelsey Johns _SGP on Instagram. And if you're on Facebook, you can find me, Kelsey Johns, Southern Girl Pursuit. You just Google either one of those two things and you will find my name. You'll find my website, www.southerngirlpursuit.com. There we go. Got to get that right on there. But yeah, absolutely. We've got stuff on YouTube, and you can find either one of our shows on YouTube, Instagram,
Vimeo,
Facebook.
everything.
We're all over the place.
Perfect. And Highland to Hardwater is now officially on Instagram as well as Facebook. So make sure you like both of our pages to keep up to date with upcoming episodes and content. We were storying on Instagram today from ATA. So anyone who follows us got some behind the scenes looks. We kind of storied tonight from the hotel room with the four of us sitting around a coffee table. But be sure to like our posts on Facebook and Instagram. Be sure to Highland to Hardwater.
Hey, and if anybody's looking for a wolf shirt too, like I'm talking,
Go to your
this
nearest
wolf,
truck stop.
Go to your nearest
In
truck
New
stop.
Mexico.
Look up Stephen Michael Gardner.
Stephen Michael Gardner, classic.
That guy right now is like, what the...
His stuff's selling out everywhere.
For sure.
Subscribe to the Highland to Hardwater Outdoor Podcast on iTunes. Be sure to give us a rating and review and share with your friends. And if you guys have any comments or suggestions or more content you want to see, whether it be hunting, fishing, hiking, outdoor living, things like that, be sure to contact us on Instagram, comment, and we'll go from there. So thank you guys for joining us again. It's been a pleasure. And signing off from Sara, Corey, Chad, and Kelsey.